In the year 70 CE, the heart of the Jewish world stopped beating. Jerusalem, a city that had stood for centuries as a symbol of faith and identity, was burning. The magnificent Second Temple, the center of Jewish worship, was reduced to rubble by Roman legions under the command of Titus. This wasn't just another military victory for the unstoppable Roman war machine. This was a cataclysm, an event so profound it would shatter a people and scatter them across the known world, changing the course of history forever. The story begins with the Great Jewish Revolt, which erupted in 66 CE. It was a desperate, fiery rebellion against Roman rule, a clash of cultures, religions, and imperial ambition. For 4 years, the province of Judea was engulfed in war. But Rome, with its unparalleled military might, would not be denied. The siege of Jerusalem was the brutal finale. The historian Josephus, an eyewitness to the horror, described a city starved into submission, its streets filled with the dead, its walls breached, and its defenders overwhelmed. When the final Roman assault came, the city and its temple were systematically destroyed. But what happened after the smoke cleared? Rome's victory was absolute, but their methods of control went far beyond simple conquest. For the Jewish people, the fall of Jerusalem wasn't just the end of a war. It was the beginning of a new, painful chapter in their existence. The Romans didn't just want to punish a rebellious province, they wanted to make an example of it. And they did so with a calculated cruelty that would have demographic consequences lasting millennia. The most immediate impact was a massive wave of forced migration. Thousands of Jewish captives were paraded through the streets of Rome in Titus's triumphal procession, a scene famously immortalized on the Arch of Titus, which still stands in Rome today. On it, you can see Roman soldiers carrying away spoils from the temple, including the great men. These captives were sold into slavery across the empire, from the mines of Egypt to the estates of God. Entire families were torn apart, their communities obliterated. But it wasn't just the enslaved who were displaced. The Romans enacted policies designed to break the spirit of the Judean population and sever their connection to their homeland. The land itself was confiscated. Large swaths of Judea were declared Roman imperial property. Jewish farmers who had worked their ancestral lands for generations were suddenly landless, forced to become tenants on what was once their own soil, or to leave entirely in search of a livelihood. Then came the fiscus, the Jewish tax. This was a punitive and humiliating tax imposed on all Jews throughout the Roman Empire. Before the war, every Jewish male would contribute a half shekel annually to the temple in Jerusalem. Now, under Roman decree, that same amount had to be paid to the temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus in Rome. It was a constant, empire-wide reminder of their defeat and subjugation. It symbolically replaced their god with the gods of their conquerors. Tis tax wasn't just a financial burden. It was a psychological weapon. Faced with enslavement, landlessness, and punitive taxation, a great dispersal began. While Jewish communities, known as the Diaspora, had existed outside of Judea for centuries, places like Alexandria, Babylon, and even Rome itself, events of 70 CE transformed this diaspora from a choice into a necessity. It was a demographic shift on an unprecedented scale. Refugees from the destroyed homeland flowed into these existing communities, swelling their numbers and creating new ones. They traveled the famous Roman roads, the very arteries of the empire that had brought legions to their doorstep, now carrying them into exile. From the deserts of North Africa to the shores of the Black Sea, and into the heart of Europe, the Jewish people were scattered. This scattering posed an existential crisis. How could Judaism survive without its central sanctuary, the temple? This is where one of the most remarkable transformations in religious history took place. In the wake of destruction, the nature of Judaism itself evolved. With the temple gone, the priestly class and the practice of animal sacrifice, which had been central to worship, became obsolete. Leadership shifted to the rabbis, the scholars and teachers of the Torah. Synagogues, which had been local houses of assembly and study, became the new focal point of Jewish communal and religious life. Prayer, study, and adherence to Jewish law replaced the rituals of the temple. This new form of Judaism, known as Rabbinic Judaism, was portable. It wasn't tied to a specific location or a physical building. It was a religion of the book and the community. Faith became a homeland that could be carried in the heart and mind, no matter where one lived. This adaptation was the key to survival. It allowed Jewish identity to be maintained and passed down through generations, even in the farthest corners of the Roman Empire and beyond. Rome believed it had crushed a rebellion and erased a culture. They carved their victory in stone and minted coins with the inscription Judea capta. Judea's captured. They thought they had ended a story, but they were wrong. By destroying the geographical center of Judaism, they inadvertently decentralized it, making it more resilient. By scattering the Jewish people, they turned a local population into a global one. The fall of Jerusalem wasn't an end. It was a violent, tragic, and transformative beginning. It marked the birth of the Jewish diaspora as we know it today. People defined not by a single territory, but by a shared memory, a common faith, and a story of survival against all odds. The long shadow of Rome's actions in 70 CE extends all the way to the present day, a powerful testament to how one empire's act of destruction could forge a people's enduring legacy of resilience. The consequences of that single, brutal war would echo for the next 2,000 years. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into the past insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the pivotal moments that shaped our world. Let us know in the comments what other historical events you'd like us to explore. See you next time.